Hey everybody, welcome to Ellis Mowers. I appreciate y'all watching the channel as always. This is a first for me. Some of these small engine things I don't realize are even a thing. This is a Ryan Junior Sod Cutter that has come in from a landscaping client who does commercial works. That's kind of cool. This machine I think is around $5,000 to $6,000 new, and it's about the size of a regular push mower. However, it ain't the weight of one. This thing is easily a couple 200 to 300 pounds. So it is a big boy, even though it's a junior sod cutter. The issue it's got, I was told it runs. The issue it's got is that it's got a really, really bad hydraulic leak. And I think I found the problem. I'll show you. And we're going to walk through this together. I have not seen a lot of videos on sod cutters. So if you come here for that, thank you. And I hope that I can help y'all out with some repairs and whatnot. So let's go ahead and get started on this. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Ellis at ellismowers.com or at ellismowers09 on Instagram and Facebook. Let's get this, hopefully, get this sod cutter fixed. So this guy said that he took it to the local shop, or maybe not this, but he has taken machines to the local shop in the past, and they've had them for months before they touched them. That's why he wanted to let me have a crack at this. Again, we're going to learn together. We'll give a quick overview. Like I said, Junior Sod Cutter, Ryan brand, really well made. It's newer too, so it's probably made within the last 10 years. Got a GX 160 Honda on it, and you've also got all of this stuff here that I'm going to have to kind of learn about. We've got like a height adjustment on it. My mantra, or my thing is, we're just going to get it running and doing what it needs to. We got the locks and whatnot to lock the drive in so that you can move it, but then not have the auger, I guess you could call it the auger run, while you move the sod cutter around. So the issue is, let's get down here, and we'll take off this cover here in just a second. But I can already show you that the issue is, you can already see with just a couple minutes that it's been sitting here, it's already starting to leak on the ground. We've got some sort of major leak. This would be, I guess, where the cutter itself joins into the transmission. I don't know how these things work, to be honest with you, so I'm going to be looking myself. So we've got a little bit of seepage from the main drive pulley up there, which we'll see when we take off this. But the main issue is this auger, I guess you'd call it the auger pulley or the cutter pulley. There's one on each side. It looks like the seals got busted out of it. So they do sell parts for these, so that's good. We'll get a seal ordered and we'll go through this. It looks like it's fairly straightforward. It looks like I just need to take off. Do I even need to take these off? I think I've just got to take these 4 bolts off. And this may pull out. I think there's a key right here. Just take the key off and pull it out. It should come right out because it's definitely wet. And you can see it's been dripping way bad here on the bottom. So, I don't think we need to replace the top seal because it's just kind of little common seepage on the pulley here at the top. We'll give it a look when we get it out though. I will take, what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. Looks like 3 1/2 inch and maybe like an 11/16 or 3/4 to get this cover off, and we shall see what we have on the inside. So I've got the 4 off on the front. There's 2 more. 1 and then 2 in the back to get that cover off. So let's do that real quick. So here we have better access. Might tell them that we need to go ahead and replace both things here, both seals. So I'm going to do some research because this one's seeping some. Not much, but again, if you're a commercial client, you want your stuff to be right. So we're going to get a couple of these seals taken care of here. The main one, though, is the one here on the bottom. This one, like I said, got a little bit of seepage on it, and that's not the main one, but you can see it's kind of causing a little bit of wetness down there. Your main one, because if you track, it kind of gets a little wet right here on the top of this pulley, but once you get down here to the bottom, that's where it really starts under that pulley. So that is what we're going to do. It looks like in order for me to do this, I've got to take the belt off and such. So I've got some sort of tension arm here with clips. Nothing crazy. Before I really get into this, I do want to do a little bit of research because I know this is a $6,000 machine. So we're going to make it right. And so you can get back to cutting some sod. So let me do some research and we'll attack this next. Oil seal finally came in. I didn't realize this was a Bobcat brand piece of equipment. It's a 548272. It came in a pair. Believe this is the only oil seal that I see in the entire auger mechanism, whatever you want to call this. And what I'm seeing is it looks like I've got to take a 9/16 or a half right here and pull this bottom piece off with a wrench. Wrench right here and then pull this bottom piece off. This will free this rotating arm up, and then I may have to pull this out. This looks like it's a grease zerk, so this is a grease fitting instead of an oil seal after you get past the edge of this casing right here. So I think what I've got to do is pull this Allen key out, and that will allow this device to come off, and we should be able to access the oil seal after that, because I think where it's leaking at is right here. I think I've shown this 1,000 times. Like I said, apart from bearings and stuff, this is the only seal that was in here on the diagram. So let's get it off. Terminology is not my thing, but I've taken the 3 bolts on this side and 3 bolts on the other, get this device off. And now looks like what else I have to do. Grammar, not good. Take these 2 off, and then this big one off, and I believe this will slide off, which will allow me to see or to view, have access to this mechanism. And I'm going to take an Allen key and loosen that up right there, which looks like it's a clamp, and I'm hoping that this just slides out, and we'll be able to access the oil seal after that. So I'll keep working here, see what we find. So we're in luck here, hopefully. Let's see what we've got. So let's pull this out. So now what that does is it exposes this collar here, and is there something that holds this on? It's a bunch of grease right there. So let me figure out my next move here. I think this is all in one. Don't quote me, because I would think that I could pull this off if it wasn't. And so I think this is all in one, and I've got to take the Allen key to this now. So let me do that, see what we have. So I've loosened that Allen key now, and there's a little access port right here that you could pry out with a screwdriver, all right? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pry this out, see what that exposes us, and that should expose us to what we need to change here. So let's see. Come on out, buddy. Might have to get an actual pry bar here in a second. got a little key. So looks like we've got a key, and there's our oil seal. It looks like we've got a blown oil seal, so hopefully that's all that it is. Come on, a little bit more now. So I'm just going to finish taking this off. Let's see if I can do it on cam. Boost my credibility a little bit, hopefully. Well, maybe not. I'm going to get this off. I'll expose you to what is underneath / inside this. And come on now. And once I do that, you can see this. I mean, it's just a bunch of junk and stuff in this thing. So once I can get the rest of this off here, I will show y'all what we're dealing with and how to change this thing out. Making a little mess here. We got the woodruff key out though. What I had to do was I gotta grind it down a little bit, but I had to tap it with a chisel end, which obviously I don't really care about this chisel, but that was able to get it popped out. And I have to sand down that part of the shaft just a little bit right there, just to make it smooth again, and should be good after that. Oil seal, we're gonna take, I got an oil seal puller. I'm gonna try and get that to work. If not, do a little old mechanics trick I found from Mowers, where we put some self tappers in here and pull it out with the nail puller. Just want to say Mowers is the man. That is awesome. Worked out beautifully. We're going to clean everything up inside here, make sure there's no residue or anything along those lines for this oil seal to seal back, and we should be in good shape. I'll go ahead and open this up, clean all this stuff out. It looks like a bunch of junk just got caught around the shaft and ended up getting into that oil seal, causing those issues that we had. So yeah, so that's what happened, and we'll get it off. I think I got that rubber to get off too real quick. Put it back on, and should have no more leakage, hopefully. Alright, oil seal's back in. Just used what is this, 30mm socket and a little bit of a rubber mallet to kind of hammer it into place there, get it around where it needs to get around. I'm going to clean this up a little bit more. Woodruff key, I filed down. I should be able to reuse it again as long as everything is smooth on it. So I'll put that back in. I'm going to grease the bottom of it before I put it back in. Hopefully it won't have much of an issue getting back out. And then we'll go forth with putting everything back on like it's supposed to. Shouldn't take too long. Now y'all saw how I took everything off, so I'll go ahead and put everything back on. We'll test everything out too. Top off the gear oil, make sure the seal is sealing, which it looks like it is so far. It looks a lot better than the other one because it got a bunch of junk and stuff wrapped around the other seal, which was what caused the issues that we were having. And got to top off the gear oil, see if everything's good on that, and we should be good to go after that. Well, we got everything buttoned up. Just put it all back together like y'all saw earlier. I had to put a grease zerk on the front. For some reason there was one missing, and greased everything up, put it back on the shaft. The woodruff key, getting that back on was the hardest by far. Like I mentioned, we got a little bit of seepage coming out of the main pulley. Personally, I don't think it's enough to really warrant replacing the seal up there because it's not leaking, it's just seeping. And that's going to happen with any grease or gear oil seals that have, I mean, you're never going to have it perfect. But this one right here was way, way too bad. And I've got it back down. I filled it back up with oil And we are appearing dry, so that's good. This is all just residual mess here. It just gets nasty sometimes. But I'm going to crank it up and at least engage the auger or the whatever you call it on this thing. See what happens. Sorry, cruising around here. We're just going to go for a quick loop down and back, make sure everything seems okay. Alright, I'm just going to take it up and down the driveway. If it all checks out, we'll put every cover back on. We'll wrap this video up. So that's everything here on the sod cutter. It's not leaking, so that's good. I think what happened, and I think we saw it on camera, it looked like there was some sort of foreign object or grass or something along those lines that got caught in the seal itself and wrapped itself around the shaft and ended up breaking that oil seal and causing all the leaking issues. In terms of the main drive pulley, at the beginning I thought that I was going to do that, but I kept looking on the parts diagram and I didn't see any oil seal or anything associated with that, so I didn't want to get into that and open up a whole can of worms that personally I didn't think really needed to be open, because let's face it, if you've got some sort of like tiller or sod cutter, it's probably going to seep somewhere. As long as it's not dripping, it's fine. So this one was not dripping from that drive pulley. It was just from that auger, the cutting auger. I don't know exactly the terminology for it. But we got it fixed and it's not leaking anymore. I drove it up and down the driveway just to make sure, to aggravate it some, to see if it would pop and cause any sort of leaks, and it's not doing that. So I'll double check one more time. But we're going to send this back to the customer again. This little device right here weighs over 300 pounds and it costs over $5,000. This is a Sod Cutter Junior. So landscaping is expensive, and my first commercial client, so to speak, hopefully I'll be happy with this. Saved them a lot of time from taking it to the small engine shop, which said that it would be months. Well, it was months the last time he took it there. And we got this done in, well, mostly just waiting on parts. We got it done in an afternoon, number one, but number two, we had to wait on parts, which took a little over a week. So realistically, we're about a week and a half in from when I picked this thing up, as opposed to months for him. So hopefully that works out for him. I know this is a big money maker for him, so he'll be glad to get it back into his arsenal sooner rather than later. Thank you all again for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I haven't seen any videos on Ryan, Sod Cutter, oil seals, or really anything apart from what the actual company has put on YouTube. So I want to throw that out there just in case you are looking for a video like this. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Ellis at ellismowers.com, and on Instagram and Facebook at ellismowers09. Thank y'all again, and we'll catch you on the next video. Take care.